Hello there, everybody. This is Alex from Hardcoin Guys, bringing my guide for Transformers Devastation on Prime difficulty. Today we're doing Chapter 7 entitled Legacy. This is, of course, the all-character campaign run. And unfortunately, I have to finish off Megatron with Wheeljack and not Grimlock, but, you know, I could have made it to happen like that if I so chose, but things just kind of happened. It would have been cooler, but to be fair, I think ending off with Wheeljack makes a lot more sense because he's the one that gave me the most gripe. So, in all fairness, I think having the hardest character for me to play, being the last character, makes the most sense. And also, what a legacy. You know what I mean? Just, goddamn, like 10 years of endless nightmares. 10 years of these terrible visions. No, I'm kidding. But, yeah, like, this game's old, man. Well, not old, but it's a decade old about. I think October of this year will be its 10th anniversary, so yeah, I probably should have done this around October, but I had things I wanted to get done, so I felt like this would be a good send-off to those things. And then after this video is completed, you should, I think by tomorrow, the next day, should be able to see an update video that I've had planned for quite some time, so be prepared for that. I've had this in the notes for quite a bit, and don't worry, there's no bad news. It's not like, oh, I'm gonna quit YouTube again. So no frightening stuff there. I'm just gonna be talking about potential guides in the future and all the generations of hardcore video content and stuff like that. So if you're interested, stay tuned tomorrow, I believe, or whenever it gets uploaded, which hopefully will be tomorrow, but yeah, because I'm recording this a week beforehand, by the way. This is going on Sunday, like April 6th, and I'm currently recording this still in March 29th, which is insane. And also, April is my birth month, which is also kind of funny, because I finished the one game that I guess you could argue that I'm kind of known for on this channel. Like, well, maybe not exactly, because like I have so many different things that I've done guide-wise that, in all fairness, like you could say, like, well, he's also done like all the God of War stuff except for the Norse, and it's like, well, yeah. But in all fairness, this is the main project, so it's kind of funny how that kind of began that way. But yeah, first couple fights, not bad. You're kind of used to that. You're mostly used to it by this point. Also, look at this. Sideswipe is so damn fast, he can just jump straight over everything. It's crazy. But Motormaster might give you a bit of trouble. And this is where Sideswipe comes in handy, because for some reason, again, I'm not sure if it's my tech or if it's just Sideswipe in general, but I get my ultimate attack rather quick. I did struggle on this fight in particular, because I just recorded this today. I was suffering yesterday. I cannot tell you. I spent hours on this damn chapter yesterday trying to beat it again without using items or just something, and I couldn't do it. I had good Motormaster runs too, and then they're just gone. Like, everything I did good is just gone. Everything went wrong on YouTube. Ugh. My arms did not like that. My fat arms. Yeah, I need to fix that, I guess. Don't worry, I'm not fat. I'm just being lame. So anyway, this fight for Motormaster in particular is mostly like you're going to want to take out all the other guys around you, and then afterward, just deal with Motormaster as such. That is, of course, a new, nice thing I started incorporating in my guides, is that you know, full drive into it. Also, right there, like a second ago, I could have sworn I did a dodge, and I could have sworn it would have had focus, but I guess according to the game, it didn't work. So, again, I'm not sure if that's intentional. I'm not sure if it's a bug. I don't think it's a bug. I think this game is really well polished, because like I've never really run into stuff that's that bad. Which reminds me, well, actually, something to kind of talk about a little bit is a game like this that is, for what it's worth, short. Or I should say shorter than most games. Like, I'm okay with like a 4 to 5 hour game. Because, like, to be fair, if you got a shorter game that has huge replay value, which this game does, then, you know, Devil May Cry, you know, that type of stuff. If you got huge replay value in games like that, I get way more bang for my buck than if I was to go buy Assassin's Creed, whichever one. In my opinion, like, I'm not a big Assassin's Creed fan anyway, but I'm just saying, like, games like that, that take so damn long to go through, just don't give me that value. Which is kind of funny, too, because there are games like Persona, for example, that, I will play and then I will replay a couple different times. Because a lot of time, like, you spend 80 hours doing your first playthrough, and then after that it's like 30. Kingdom Hearts, same kind of thing, too, Like, of course, there are games that are long that I will replay, but I feel like there's a lot of games out there that just don't have that. Especially open world, I'm just not the biggest fan of it. But, I would much rather have a shorter game that's polished and has tons of replay value than a game that has no replay value, is long as fuck, and is buggy to hell and back because they just had to get it out by holiday season because, God forbid, we need our new AAA game out there, and we wasted all our time making AAA game instead of just making a fun game. We spent too much time working on graphics than just going with something stylistic. I don't know. I can't. It always feels weird. Maybe I'm too humble, I guess, which saying that makes me sound not humble, of course. But, I do draw, right? Like, that is something I do, and that I want to do. But I can never call myself an artist. I don't know why. It just doesn't sound right. But, as somebody that participates in the artistic world of things, I guess you could say, I do kind of really enjoy things that can look nice with a style to it. And I appreciate that. And I tend to avoid games that look, or try to look, too realistic, because I feel like, well, if you're going to do that, if you're going to waste all your time making a game look too realistic, I just think that what's going to happen is the gameplay is going to take a back seat. Luckily there are games like Last of Us 1 that, in my opinion, had some pretty strong gameplay elements to it that I actually enjoyed. So, there are exceptions to the rule, but I don't know. I feel like we're getting to the point where modern games are just trying way too hard to look realistic and good than they are trying to be just fun and arcadey. And I still like my arcade stuff. I still like to play Tetris every once in a while. Like, there's always things that I want to do, or games I really want to just go back and play. I mean, hell, just recently I finally got a copy again, because I used to have one back when I was a kid, of Ghost Rider for Game Boy. Which, yes, I do have the PS2 one, by the way, and I have thought about doing it for a guide, but we'll see. And I played that all day today. I got it back again, I played it all day today, and beat it in one sitting, and I just immediately went back and started playing the harder difficulty setting because, well, it's like Devil May Cry. At this time, you're actually forced to play it. It just adds enemies, it doesn't really do much. There's no difficult part about it, really, to be fair. But, yeah, like, even then, like, after I got done, I'm like, I want to play it again. So that's always something I strive for and I always look for. By the way, I know I'm not really doing much for advice, but to be fair, like, this is just kind of like a small, tiny boss rush. Chapter 6 and 7 kind of enfold. What? They kind of go together. I don't know what I said there. They kind of just go together subsequently because you fight like Soundwave and all that. You only fight Shockwave once. I find kind of really weird. You fight Blitzwing twice. You fight most everybody twice. Soundwave, Starscream, Thundercracker, Motormaster 3 times actually. Megatron like 2, 3, 4 times. Also, you don't really fight Skywarp until now. So, or Skyrap, whichever his name. Either way, you don't fight him until now. That's kind of a weird thing to have him show up now, of all things. And if I'm not mistaken, isn't there actually a Seeker combiner? Like, they actually can have a combiner version of him? I don't know. I'm not like a big Transformers type guy. You would think like this game would make me one, but not fully. This one did get me interested in Transformers, like, a little more than I used to be. Because at the time when this game came out, I can't speak. I only ever watched, like, the first movie, and I had a few Transformers toys growing up, but that's about it. I never really was big into it. I thought, like, some of it was kind of neat, but it was confusing to me because I didn't know why Optimus Prime had, like, a giant ship version of him for some reason. I don't know. Which I think I still have, actually. I'm not sure, but I should. But anyway, that takes care of that. Now we're going to play Wheeljack. I love his car, like, with the red and green and white. I think it looks kind of nice. But yeah, we got to fight the Constructicons and then Devastator. So, Constructicon fight, and just to kind of go over real quick, what I'm going to be doing with Wheeljack eventually, because I think when I start off with this, I'm not doing exactly the proper thing that I wanted to do. 2 things, actually. I will be using items. I will die and have to do an auto recovery. And I apologize to those that, want to see me suffer even more, I guess. But apologies. I did use items in these fights. Now, real quick. Because I know what the attack is, I'm going to be using the cutters for this particular fight. And that's why. That ground slam move drops bombs. So you'll be seeing that a ton. Not just for the Constructicons, but also for the Combiners. So get used to seeing a lot of that. And Wheeljack's ability may probably come in handy a little bit here and there, but not much. Also, whenever you're on somebody, make sure that you don't try to stay on them and peel them out too much, because you can get hit during it. So I would recommend just mashing R2 until you just eventually fly off. And then if you do go fly off, go straight for somebody with a drive rush. But yeah, this fight, it is devastating, funny enough. But it can be a pain in the ass if you're not careful. Your teammates can, for the most part, take off a little bit of the aggro. And even if your teammates do die, you can get health back. Like a full health kit right back from them. But I would suggest just trying your best. If you got the confidence for it, do your best to try to get into the fight. Like, always try to be near a Constructicon at all times. Because if you're not, they're going to come straight for you. And sometimes they'll just double up and gang up on you that way. But you do kind of want to be, like, in the middle of it. You kind of want to be an attention whore to these guys. So that way, if you're playing Wheeljack, this is more so Wheeljack specific, by the way. If you're playing Wheeljack, you can at least get the most benefit from the bombs dropping on all the enemies. So in all fairness, I guess you could argue Wheeljack would be probably the better choice for a fight like this, like a group fight like this. But I just don't have the weapons that... These are leveled up, by the way. This is level 40, and I still can't do shit with it. I don't know what I'm doing wrong, but I just can't... I can't get stuff fast enough. I can't get overdrive fast enough. I can't get, much damage. Like, yeah, I did buy, because you can buy items. I did buy, of course, more defense, like hard coat and power boosters. So, that'll be mostly saved for Minosaur than anything, because he's more annoying. Devastator's not that bad. It's just Minosaur's fight. It's just god-awful. Also, real quick, square, triangle is also another peel. It's a burnout type, like, spin move. So if you can land it, go for it, but I would recommend just doing square, triangle instead. That way you can just guarantee, in focus time, a vehicle attack that does drop bombs. And once you get your overdrive going, just land it, just throw it. Hopefully, it's ice. Hopefully it's ice, but if it's not, that's fine. Damage is fine, because that's just immediate damage. But then again, ice also does damage too. And by the way, don't worry about Mixmaster. Just let him do his own thing. Let him shit all over the place. Who cares? Just do your best to avoid it. Like, know where his green goop is at. Of course, but yeah. By the way, of course, I should mention that whenever you're doing a combo, if you do dodge mid-combo, you do keep your combo going. So, that is something you can do and utilize. But I think if you do a double dodge, it just deletes your combo. So it can only be a one dodge. So if you know how to actively dodge better than I do a lot of the time, you could use that to your advantage to, of course, beat these guys down. And when you're down to one Constructicon, or if you're just fighting one at a time, hopefully, which, by the way, I forgot I had loudspeaker for this fight, so there's that. But yeah, if you're fighting one at a time, you could just do the drive rush combo and do the beatdown instead. Completely missed the drive rush attack there, because I'm an idiot. Well, I think he was still spawning in, so, that's just going to happen. But Devastator, not that bad. Don't need to use items. He does not do any lift mountain things on you at all. Square, triangle with the cutters, also another great tool for this, because again, the bombs might not do like a ton of damage, but it's just enough to where it will help. Now, I do have an Energon Sword, so like in all honesty, maybe I probably should have used that and tried for that instead, but this for me was what kind of seemed like it was working better. I don't know everything, guys. I promise I'm not like the peak. I'm not the peak Transformers Devastation guy. I apologize, but I tried. This is my own little project, so things happen as they happen, and that's pretty much about it, really. Unfortunately for my friendos, I don't think they can really die in this fight, so I can't just get full health back if I need it. I'm going to have to use items to do that. Yeah, now you got to fight Drill Devastator, which of course doesn't really add much, but Minosaur does. So this is one of those fights that might take a little bit of explaining, like quite a bit. Don't worry so much about what Devastator's doing. Focus on Devastator, but don't worry about what he's doing. Just dodge everything and anything you possibly can. If you're like me and you have Power Booster and Hard Coat, go for it. And if you got Overdrive, just land that son of a bitch. If these two are together at all, that square, triangle, triangle, like bomb move will come in handy. Now, the thing is, Minosaur will always be attacking. He's super aggressive. I'm not saying, like, oh, just keep dodging and mash dodge. Just bear in mind that you're going to be dodging quite a lot, and just, if you time your dodges, you'll be better off, of course. But if you do mash dodge, there is a chance that you might just get away with it. So, just keep dodging. Keep dodging until you get into focus attack, and then when you get into focus attack, go for this square, square, triangle move. Unfortunately, I left Devastator kind of alive for a little too long there. And if you know the timing... Oh, by the way, skip this. You want to skip that cutscene, because if you don't, your camera will be locked on to him as soon as you spawn in. I'll even show you, too. I won't show you Devastator, but Minosaur, you will see it. I will show you Minosaur's death. It's the same death as Devastator's is, but you'll see the camera thing do its own thing. Now, real quick, if Minosaur spawns in these electric balls, you can use them as focus fodder if you wanted to. You can destroy them. You can shoot them. Now, because he's the last one alive, this one should be a lot easier because it's just essentially Minosaur again. If you do die, you got to go back and fight both of them together again with, of course, Devastator with half health, which luckily Devastator takes considerable amount of damage, so he's not that bad. But since we have full focus, oh yeah, by the way, that usually is an insta-kill, but in this case, because I think I have, I don't remember, was it a move you buy? Well, either way, I don't get instant killed, but like that would be an insta-kill if this game didn't have that extra little, magic pixel to keep you alive, I guess you could say. But yeah, this is where I'm going to start losing a lot of lives. I would have died like 3 or 4 times now. But Minosaur is so... I'm sorry, there's no better advice I can give besides you're just going to have to learn the timing. Like, no, don't get me wrong. Like, you can mash dodge and for the most part still be okay. Especially if you got max dodge up tech equipped. That way you can allow yourself just a little bit more leniency to it. Whenever you do happen to dodge quite a bit, make sure you're doing at least some attacks or vehicle attacks to hopefully reset the stamina for your dodges. That way you don't get stuck in that ending lag thing for it. But, yeah, there you go. Something else to... Yeah, there's the camera doing that. Something else to admit real quick that might be potentially helpful is you don't have to do the bomb thing on just Minosaur when he's by himself. You could just go with the traditional sword, Energon sword type thing if you're playing Wheeljack like I am. If you're doing exactly what I'm doing, I probably could have done Energon sword with basic combos with missiles. Missile strikes from his vehicle attack, because that probably would have worked just about the same. So, Megatron. Fire, I think, I could have sworn it could be dodged, but I guess not. Loudspeaker is going to come in handy. And this move right here, this full square into triangle, or I think it's 3 squares into triangle, is that slam move for the Energon sword. So I'll be trying to use that the best I can. Megatron's weird because no matter what, he's still a humanoid. He's just extremely fast. So, like, you can still do, like, the same bully tactics that you could always do to anybody else for the most part. Like, loudspeaker combos. And by the way, if you're doing loudspeaker combos, make sure you don't try to end your combo. You want to kind of, like, loudspeaker him back, because this asswipe has a dodge that makes it to where if he's stunned, he'll unstun, and he might dodge right out of it and just completely avoid the loudspeaker, so do keep that in mind. And, of course, there's that, too, where he'll just parry you pretty much right after a stun. These purple ball things, they do home in on you, so be careful with that. One thing you could do is the vehicle rush combo thing, where like you just vehicle drive into somebody and then hit them with a full, constant punches type ordeal, I guess you could say. Also, yeah, that gives you 2 vehicle attacks, by the way, that combo there. Again, 3 squares and 2 triangles, I think that's the combo. But yeah, you want to be careful about doing that if he's doing the homing missile shot thing. Laser thing, not that bad. Just, he does it twice, comes back down. Not a big deal. Look at me just scurrying over to beat up Megatron. The mace is actually pretty easy to dodge, fortunately, because it comes out so quick that just even getting like a random mash dodge should be enough to potentially avoid it. That attack does nothing to you, by the way. That Armstrong attack does nothing. But this tank move, he'll probably end up doing right after, for the most part. So just bear in mind that he'll probably attack you. And yeah, you can attack him during it. And funny enough, I think this was the fight. Well, I won this one, of course, but I think this is the same fight where he does that weird void ball thing I've never seen him do before. In all my years of playing this game, I've never recalled him doing that. Now, there could, of course, be like maybe a guide video that he did do it in, and I just didn't catch it. Or at the very least, I just never remembered. I don't know. So, we might get to see that if this was the proper run. And by the way, I did die, and I did just restart checkpoint. I said, you know what? If I'm going to die in Megatron, I might as well just start over. Like, even if I have auto repairs, then, you know, whatever. But yeah, this fight is basically just what you think it is. It's just dodge constantly and go for those missile shots, that kind of thing, if you're playing Wheeljack. Just go for anything. Just damage and dodge. Damage and dodge. That's pretty much the entire fight. Which you can say, like, doesn't that sum up the game entirely? Like, I guess, yes, but yeah. Also, that move, of course, you have to dodge, like, at the very end before he's about to grab you. Actually, no, I think it's just Blitzwing that does that. You have to dodge at the end. I think for this one, you can dodge anywhere between, I think. So, yeah, just try that. Square, triangle, square. Or square, triangle, triangle, I think, is also another pretty decent sword maneuver. By the way, when he gets into red, which he should do eventually, goddammit, he'll do this. He'll go into this quick time event cutscene. So, you don't have to fully kill up Megatron. The whole point of this fight is to knock him down, and then Optimus will take care of it, which Megatron in space actually has less health for some bizarre-ass reason. It's over, Megatron! It's over, Oh, okay, well, yes. I always forget that he says it right after. So, if you're playing... Whoever you're playing as will get the equipment that... I don't know if tech counts to it, but you will get the same weapons as the last character. So we are, luckily, we are fortunately allowed to have loudspeaker. And because we're in space and no one else can hear us beat up Megatron, we could just do the peel-out thing on top of him, which is nice. And we can do this, too. So, we got nobody to fuck with us. This is actually the easier fight of the two, in all fairness. This is definitely, without a doubt, the easier fight to deal with. And I would recommend, if you have a weapon for it, Energon weapons, no doubt. So, and by the way, I didn't get anything fancy. I just did a final hit. I tried being a little bit more fancy, but it just didn't work. And here you just want to mash. You know, you don't have to mash that hard. Just win. Get your money back if you want. But there you go. That's basically it for Megatron. And god damn, man. I can't believe it, man. I don't know. I don't have the proper words for a good enough send-off. And I apologize. But that's it, guys. That's it. We did all 6. I finally did it. I finally goddamn did it. It took me a decade, but I did it. So, yeah, you know, thank you all for watching. Not only just the guides that I've been doing over the years, but sticking with it and sticking with me going through this. Will there ever be a chance for an SS guide in the future? I don't know. Maybe. You know, anything can happen. SS guide just sounds like a pain, but who knows. I do want to give a special shout out to somebody, but I'm not sure if it's the most proper thing to do. Out of respect, I probably shouldn't talk about them. But I will say there was a friend a long time ago, back in the day, that, funny enough, like, I did my guide, right? I did my guide with Optimus, and I was like, I don't want to do it anymore. I already did Optimus, I don't want to do it anymore. And he did say, like, you know, you should just do the rest. Like, you know, you said you wanted to do the rest, just do it. And I don't remember if that's exactly what he said. You know, there might have been a little bit more pressure toward, like, doing it. But either way, we did it. So, I will say, like, again, like, out of just pure respect, there's reasons why. I just want to make sure that, you know, nobody gets mad at me, I guess, for whatever reason. But, yeah, thanks. So, I know that doesn't mean much, but it comes from the heart. my words are kind of hard to get out, so I'm not good with sentimental stuff, I guess you could say. But yeah, we finally finished it, and like I said, hopefully tomorrow I should have a video update. I don't know what the update's gonna. I know what it's gonna include, what I'm gonna talk about. I just don't know how I'm gonna do it yet. So we got time until then. I'm uploading these throughout the week, one video a day, at 12 in the afternoon. And you guys know that by now, of course. You've seen them. So, I know this might not be the most proper thing. I might not have an ending song. I don't know. Man. Maybe I should do a Magnus guide for this game. Do hard mode, I thought about doing that for Vanquish, because, Vanquish hard and God hard are actually, a couple different things. But, funny enough, this started back in Gen 1 of Hardcore, and now we're in Gen 2. This is the final Gen 2 guide, by the way. So, I'll explain that stuff in the update. You guys don't have to worry about that too much, unless you really are hardcoreans, and you're like, oh, I'm definitely a devoted hardcore, I care enough. If you do care enough, great, but, yeah. With that being said, in terms of what my next guide is, I want to keep it kind of a secret. There might be something, maybe I might spoil the update, I don't know. But for now, it's not confirmed. I will say, though, I have thought about, doing Batman Arkham, no upgrade run. I thought about doing it, starting up Uncharted stuff. But I'll talk about those more so in the video update. I just have another video game, what? It's not like a boomer. I have another game idea in question that I want to do, but I want to keep it as more of a surprise. So we'll talk about that when we talk about it. And that's it. So thank you all for watching, and I hope you all enjoyed. And go play Transformers Devastation. It's a very good game.